So hey, we're taking a look at the Never Summer Funslinger, and it is a new asymmetrical twin that I think feels like there's a lot of overlap between this and the Evo and the Revolver, the wide version of the Evo. It's kind of like a parky twin, kind of like the Evo, but it's got two different things. It's got their new augmented camber profile that takes it from a mellow camber at the tip and tail to a much more augmented camber. It goes from like a healthy B cup to like a C cup to like maybe even a D, and it really changes the profile of the board. Here, I'm going to give you a comparison between the Cobra, which has I don't have the Revolver here, but I have the Cobra, and they have the same camber profile. A little more rocker in the middle, and less camber in the tip and tail. So as you can see, this board see how it's got that little rocker, and you can see when you hold it here like this, you can see there's a decent amount of rocker and not as much camber. Now, slide this board into the same place, you can see it's almost stable. This table isn't perfectly even, but the tip and tail are not that lifted off the ground. So it has much more stability, one footing, flat basing, getting through a long flat, one footing off the chair. It just also has a better feel to it that I really like. Also, that extra camber is so much more fun in a turn. This isn't really a carving specialist like the Ripsaw, but it sure does rail a turn really nicely, and it's a huge improvement over the Evo. Now, the other thing that it has differently is, see this little thing? It says heel side. You can see this is asymmetrical. The toe side is more shallow, and the heel side is more deep, which works why I left the bindings on with your duck stance. Because twins are made to be ridden each direction. So people put their stance like this. If you put your stance like this, you probably won't enjoy this board as much. But if you put your stance, duck or almost duck, then you're going to really like this. What I also like is they kept the tip and tail the same. So symmetrical tip and tail, but asymmetrical side cuts on each side, which is much better than, these are fun, and I love the look and everything, but as you can see, look, I'm leaning this like this. It's very difficult to put the board, basically just lay it flat against the wall. You kind of have to find a corner and angle it, or angle it against your buddy's board. And I can't tell you how many times, I love these ASIM boards though, but I can't tell you how many times that weird tip and tail has made my board fall, or started a whole crash of boards. So I just love this, tip and tail. Also that symmetrical, pardon me, thinking I'm gonna sneeze. So the symmetrical tip and tail are also more fun for buttering, better float and powder, especially if you really, get your tip and tail involved in your daily play on the mountain. You're going to enjoy this a lot more. Edge hold really good, felt it grabbing snow really well. Can't stop riding this. I'm having so much fun. This is the 156. I think I would have had a really good time on the 153 too. This felt a little more mountainy. Never Summer has this kind of really cool combination between rubbery and poppy that's really fun. It's not ultra damp, but it's got a damp rubbery feel. But then when you go to ollie, it's got some spring there, and it makes the board a lot more fun than you think it should be for its really kind of soft flex and just mellow all around feel. You would think it would be slower on the mountain, but it isn't as slow as you would think. It's still no mountain specialist. It's a far cry from the Ripsaw. By the way, since I have that here, I will show you the difference between the camber profiles. As you can see, same camber profile, the augmented camber as I call it, the C D cup as opposed to the B cup. and just much more stable profile. So you can see both of them have a very similar, camber heavy. It's almost 50-50, like 50% rocker, 50% camber in terms of the way the board feels. And edge to edge, real easy, but it's not hard in any way. But it's just kind of like it's kind of the way I like to turn. It's got a little bit of work each way, but not so much that it's difficult by any means. It's kind of just easy. It's not super easy. Maybe easy, bordering on moderate. It's got a real nice, stable platform. Jumps really poppy, really fun. Really liked hitting a few small kickers that are up this early season, and really liked just like playing around and trying to treat the mountain like a park. I'm going to have Jimbo. We're going to ride some more on this. Hopefully Jimbo will take this into the jib park and have some fun with that. I didn't really feel that adventurous, but as far as a jib board goes, it's definitely doesn't zap your confidence. I'd have no problem trying things with this board, especially if the edges were detuned. Right now they're kind of grippy, and I'm not gonna detune them because I'm giving this back to Never Summer. So the Funslinger, great board. Think this is going to replace the Evo as our favorite. Just too much fun tech. That extra camber, it's so much fun. It gives it it's definitely a park board, but it's got a mellow mountain freestyle aftertaste that I think can make a lot of people really happy, and it's a board I'd love to have in my quiver.